Last weekend, we had the Bommarito 500, a great short oval on the IndyCar schedule, one of the best races of the season. And I feel like so far this season it has been the best race. But in the past, I feel like this has provided some of the best races that we've seen on the schedule. It's a great short oval. There's a lot of passing, a lot of high stakes, and I feel like this past weekend it brought a great race. Yeah, your winner last year for this was Joseph Newgarden, who was just had a very chaotic day. I remember that accordion effect last year that had a lot of people talking, and had some incidents in this race that had some people talking too. I just feel like it's kind of never ending with those incidents. Your pole winner for this race was Will Power. Team Penske just doing really well again this year, just absolutely dominating these short ovals in terms of qualifying. During the race though, just the complete 180, just complete flip on that completely. But for qualifying, it was looking really well for that team. David Malukas, who was a big kind of dark horse for this race to possibly get his first ever win in his career. His best track is here, so it was going to be this race if any. He qualified in fourth. And Pato O'Ward, who's just, I feel, dangerous on any sort of oval that you put him on, qualified in third and had himself a pretty good qualifying day. So I feel like for an IndyCar race, man, this is everything that I could have asked for in terms of an oval race. It was great, honestly. A lot of great action early, especially guys like Connor Daly and Joseph Newgarden being able to use that high side and be able to make some big moves early, especially for Connor Daly. Started in 15th, able to move his way, I believe, almost to 5th. And there's those first couple of laps, in the first 5 laps, able to jump that many positions is absolutely insane. He was just on the move in this race, and he's looking for a first ever win too, I feel like, especially. It might be one of these short ovals, but things were just really chaotic early. I really enjoyed it. All the different moves that we were seeing before the Devlin crash early, everything was just looking really good. In terms of incidents, we had quite a few of them, which kind of created the unpredictable factor, which made things exciting and also chaotic. For Team Penske, it was just drama all day. Started off with Will Power. He was the pole sitter for this race. Got jumped by David Malukas early, who was able to jump into first, and Power's kind of chasing behind second. David was looking really good early on this race, led a lot of laps, which is good to see for him. But Power just had this weird issue where his right front just kind of broke and just wasn't turning and just slapped right into the wall, I believe like lap 47, so he was out early after a decent start to the day. And Scott McLaughlin later in this race had a mechanical issue after leading for a bit and being in that top 5. Looked like he could possibly have a win, but just the unlucky streak for him just continues. And then Joseph Newgarden, who was leading for a while, looked like he was going to be a big contender in this race, as he always is. This had an incident where Louis Foster went to the wall. He went low on Alex Palou and just had a scary incident as he flies over the back of Louis Foster's car, flies on top. His car flies on top, slides over the finish line almost, and just wow, just crazy incident. Credit to the AMR safety team. They were there like in less than 4 seconds, which is insane. That safety team is insane and deserves a lot of credit for what they did for this, taking care of it as quick as possible, as safe as possible. That team is just amazing, honestly, and they do great every single race in IndyCar, and one of the best, I believe, in motorsports in general. Just a really scary incident that just kind of shows the safety of these cars now, as Joseph was just easily able to walk away from this incident, an incident many years ago that would have been possibly even tragic. Able just to walk away now, which is absolutely insane for a car flipping. But yeah, I don't know what it is for Team Penske this year. That just unlucky streak is just continuing after the Indy 500, and they're just on the struggle bus this year a little bit. Qualifies well, but just in these races, just weird shit happens, I feel like. But yeah, getting into the moment of the day, I feel like Pato O'Ward and Connor Daly, great battle in the middle of this race. If you're going to go back and watch anything from this race, go back and watch that, because that was a great battle, back and forth, exactly what you want to see. Guys pushing into the absolute limit, and they were really pushing, gaining kind of a gap on the field for a little bit. And it was great to see those two guys just kind of pushing it, great competitors, two great oval racers. So great moment in the race. And as we got closer and closer to the finish, the one thing that I enjoyed about this is it felt unpredictable for a winner. Obviously, I know that the winner that we did get from this race has won, is the only other winner this season so far. But other than that, it did feel unpredictable. As we were getting closer to the finish, these strategies were kind of coming into play. Guys were going to need to make their final pit stops. Some were going to try and see if they could possibly make it on the rest of the fuel. They had Scott Dixon being one of those. I feel like he always has some sort of fuel-saving strategy, but just wasn't able to make it till the end. Had himself a really great day, though, a really good race for Scott Dixon. And then it was Santino Ferrucci for just a little bit, but it didn't look like he was going to make it till the end. That would have been a cool story. But then Callum Ilott at the end, oh man, I really wanted him to hold on. Possibly looked like he had enough fuel to make it to the end. It was just really unsure, especially for those last couple of laps, which just didn't have enough. That would have been a great story in and of itself. So a lot of potential first winners on the day, which I think made things really exciting and kind of kept fans tuned until the end. And then the man who I feel like had himself a quiet but great day, kept himself in the field, was in that top 10 all day and just sneaking into that top 5. Kyle Kirkwood, man, that guy is just consistent as hell. And that's been his thing this season. If you're not talking about a man that's not named Alex Palou, Kyle Kirkwood is the guy who's been the most consistent this season and really good. But ovals aren't exactly the thing in his career that he's been absolutely dominant at. So to get, I believe, his first ever oval win in his career is great to see for Kyle Kirkwood, having himself a hell of a season. Yeah, and if you're not talking about Alex Palou, who's been really consistent this season, the guy who has been really consistent is Kyle Kirkwood. Really good in every road and street course that we have, but not really been exactly great on the ovals. Hadn't had his first ever oval win, but finally got it today. I feel like we're kind of snapping those boxes for a lot of people these past couple of years, which is great to see. But Kyle Kirkwood, a really good driver and having himself a hell of a year this year. Just had himself, I feel like, a quiet and really good day. I feel like you notice him in this race, but he wasn't exactly a big story until the absolute end when he needed to. He was where he needed to be. Had a great strategy call on the day and had an absolute great drive. So honestly, a really good day for Kyle Kirkwood and just the race in general. Honestly, it was a really successful event. Had, I believe, over 1 million people watch this race, which is great to see in Fox and Sunday primetime. So overall, this race was really good. I feel like moving the needle forward for IndyCar. And in terms of other driver shoutouts of the day, Pat O'Ward had himself still a really good day. Finished in second, wasn't able to get the win, but another podium on the season, so keeping in that championship hunt. Christian Rasmussen had himself a hell of a day, the best ever drive in his career. Started in 25th, able to move all the way to third. Best drive he's ever had, man. I feel like he's getting better at the ovals than he is at the road and street courses, because, I mean, he was only allowed to do those last year, and then it's his first full-time season, and I feel like already he's taken to these ovals already. I mean, he's really good. I feel like the thing I enjoy about him is I feel like he's really aggressive sometimes when some of these younger drivers aren't. And sometimes that leads to incidents where he's going a little crazy and sliding around like we saw at the Indy 500 practice. But I mean, other than that, I feel like he's a decent driver who's just been steadily improving. Scott Dixon still had himself a hell of a day in 4th. Started in 11th. Santino Ferrucci started in 19th, able to get to 5th. Connor Daly, who's just looked good on all of these short ovals, and any oval you put him in an IndyCar, finishes in 6th after starting 15th. And Rinus VeeKay, who had himself a quiet day, started out in 18th and finished in 7th. And a random side note, but after watching the Mexico City race for NASCAR this past weekend, that is a course that needs to be on the IndyCar schedule. That would be such a great event for IndyCar. Just the fan atmosphere and the potential of that would be absolutely insane. That is a place where IndyCar needs to be. Just random side note, but just a thing I wanted to note down for this. I don't know, honestly, personal opinion, this is the best race of the season so far, and it might be the best race of the season that we'll see. Obviously, we still have a few great races coming up in the schedule, and quite a few more, so remains to be seen, but who knows. Just a great event overall. I feel like we need more night races in IndyCar in general. I love the night race atmosphere, and I feel like we need more of those. It's just really exciting. So possibly if we could get some more of those on the schedule, I feel like that'd be great. It shows, I feel like with the primetime numbers, that people want to see this. Able to get over 1 million viewers for this once again, which is a good sign for IndyCar going forward. So that's great to see, honestly, all in all. Heading into Road America next, a really great road course, one of the best road courses in the entire country. That's always a great race. I feel like Will Power was the winner there last year, so it's going to be interesting to see if Penske can kind of take it again this year to kind of break that unlucky streak, or if things are just going to continue a little bit of the same. Or is Alex Palou going to pick things back up again as we're heading on to another road course? It's going to be interesting, honestly. I'm really excited to see. And then we have Mid-Ohio after that, and then we're back on the ovals. So we got a nice little variety heading into these next couple of races. For honestly, just a great event, great race. I feel like these short ovals bring some of the best races in IndyCar. I'd be curious to see what anyone thinks down below about the race. In terms of the next race for Road America, some predictions for that. Alex Palou, I think, is going to get things back and going and get himself another win on the season. Justin Newgarden, I think, is going to get himself a rebound and podium on the season after kind of a disappointing start and some chaotic events. And then I'm going to go with a little bit of a shocker for third. Marcus Armstrong, I feel like, has been really consistent this season. I feel like he picks up his first podium on the season. Honestly, I feel like this was a really successful weekend for IndyCar and just a really good race. I'd be interested to hear what anyone thinks down below about the race weekend and just the race weekends going forward. I feel like there's some good momentum being carried into Road America, and I hope that kind of carries it a little bit as we head into the rest of this season. The championship fight's getting interesting. Kyle Kirkwood, I believe, is still in third, Pat O'Ward in second, and Alex Below still in first. So it's going to be interesting to see if Kyle can kind of bite into that lead a little bit and kind of chip away at it just more and more. I'm not sure, honestly, but I feel like it makes things interesting still. I don't want to see a season where some guy wins in the middle of it and then it's like, why do we really care about the rest of the year? So yeah, there's things to still care about this season. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully we get a different race winner next week, but I mean, it might be some of the same. So hopefully we still just get some fun stories and some good racing. That's all you can really hope for. So yeah, hope you all have a great rest of your day and take care.